The Manuscript of Survival, Part 370. November 16, 2013. As you have perhaps already ascertained, this quickening comes in many shapes and forms, and for some of you, it has been almost overpowering at times. Again, we hasten to remind you all that even if you at times may feel like you are down on your knees, unable to even think about getting up again, you are not being driven further down by these energetic shifts that keep battering you ceaselessly. No, you are simply being elevated further in vibration with every single blast of these energetic missiles, but still, it might not be as easy to remind yourself of this self-same truth. For many will be struggling with themselves now, and so, it can be hard not to look into the seeming abyss in front of you and think that you are heading ever deeper into it. But this is not an abyss, dear ones, no matter how deep you find yourself sinking as these energies keep swatting you around the years. For what will seem as an endless quest for retaining your balance, is simply a sure sign of energetic upgrading, and as such, the elevator is indeed going up all the time, even when you feel the surge in your stomach that seems to signal you're in a free fall ever downward. We say this in order to try to reassure all those amongst you feeling less than sure of themselves, as we know that these last barrages have served to dislodge what may be construed as the last piece of solid ground beneath your feet. For you are merely being lifted out and up of what used to be the lower grounds, for that is not where you belong anymore. But as you have yet to feel any semblance of new ground under your feet, you will find yourself flailing around seeking for something solid to grasp onto. But remember, there is no such thing at the moment, for everything is in flux, not only within, but also without, and as such, the chaos we have talked about is what you are experiencing in all sorts of ways. Remember, when we spoke of chaos, you all got an image of what this chaos would be, for such is the human brain, it will always search for a known pattern, even in the unknown. And so, you had perhaps already started to prepare for your version of the chaos, but as you have already seen, this is not what you will be getting. Again, we say expect the unexpected, for if what you get is what you expected, it would hardly be labeled as chaos. So this is what is causing some extra consternation amongst so many now, as you find yourself once again in unknown territory, and before you can start to get the slightest grasp of this new land, you will be whisked away again, to an even more uncharted part of your consciousness. For you are changing so rapidly now, there is no sense in trying to keep abreast in any way. You must simply let yourself surrender completely to this ever-flowing river of chaotic change, forever tipping you this way and then that way, in a seemingly random manner. We say this in order to remind you that there is indeed a carefully laid plan behind all of this, so the outcome is indeed assured, but do not forget that the road that will take you there, is not one you will be shown in detail beforehand. For that is indeed the whole point of this process, as you need to be jolted out of the old patterns and ruts that you so vehemently try to follow, no matter how hard you are being pushed to get out of them. For the old human was reprogrammed in a way that would ensure them staying in the same old rut over and over again, never seeking to venture beyond the borders set up before them. And so, you are still very much prone to keep within those strict limits, even now, when all semblance of limitations have been lifted. So you are in many ways still like a prisoner in your mind, even long after the walls of your cell have been demolished. Again, this is in no way a form of reproach. It is simply a reminder that now you will be asked again and again to go against what has been your very nature for eons, and as such, you will be jostled and tumbled, stretched and compressed until you lose any hold of what used to be the old you, and what used to constitute the natural limits for a human being. So you will be subjected to these sudden immersions of energetic deluges, pulling you under when you least expect it, for you need all the help you can get to shake you loose from the old foundations. For even when you think you have set yourself completely free from them, there is still some little part of you trying to cling on with all that it has. And so, we will do what we can to help you to pry loose that last hold you have on the old illusion, for what you have defined as your reality will not serve you in any way. But as you have been so deeply programmed to stick to it no matter how surreal it seems, You will need a lot of shaking up in order to let you shake yourself free of these constraints once and for all. So remember, even if you feel as shaken and torn as a rag doll in the arms of a vigorous toddler, know that all you experience, even if it does feel less than bearable, it is all done with one goal in mind, to set you free for real. Not just a semblance of freedom, where a small portion of you still cling tenaciously to the old. No, you must be as free as a bird, and we do mean that in every sense of the word. For if you insist on maintaining even the minutest hold on the old, it will literally serve to drag you back down when the next huge wave of light arrives in order to lift you even higher up. For this time, surrender will truly be the only way to conquer it all. The Constant Companions. Channeled by Asia North. asianorth.wordpress.com